What is the business division 2 agent? This your boy Trey Day coming at you with another video. I know it's been a while since I came out with one, but I'm gonna try to make this one as short as I can. I've redone it like 6 times and I keep hitting the 30-minute marker because I've hit a problem. I've hit a wall with content. I have been trying my best to come out with stuff that I feel like should be put out. Like the video that I put out on the Umbra initiative was because somebody was confused on how it works and they had a question about it, and I explained it and they liked it. Uh, and people are just so tired of strikers. But
Reinforcements en route.
that was the whole point. It it's to
Incoming
those that
hostiles detected.
are at a point where they want to try something new and they're tired of doing the same old same old. Uh, yeah, that was the build for them. Uh, and I felt good making it because I enjoyed the build in itself.
Charge exposed.
Now, I've hit a wall because I want to do more content. I want to shed light on the things that should be brought to
Heavily
people's
armored
attention.
hostile detected.
Like, I wanted to put out something about negotiated dilemmas. Negotiated dilemma is my favorite build. One of, because I feel like it is extremely overpowered. Because it has its own damage that it does. No other build allows you to get crit chance, crit damage, and distribute that type of damage simultaneously to other targets, which made it one of the most powerful PvE builds in my opinion. I want to do a true patriot.
Supply room
I'm not
access
into Hunter's
unlocked.
Fury, but I'd like to do a Hunter's Fury. But the problem is that overall, as a content creator, I need to bring you content. And this is where I hit the wall because the content that I put out may be new from me, but it's old content. It is all old content. So any Division 2 videos you see right now, it will always be old content unless somebody finds some type of exploit that allows you to get massive amount of shade. And the truth of the matter is that that type of content will get you banned, and therefore it is a negative content, you know. And I can't do that to my subscribers or my viewers. It's what's the word? It's unfair because you come here to find a better way to monopolize your time. When if I what I put out gets you banned, then it becomes a waste of time, wasted time that you've put into this game. If you end up getting like 8,000 shade, but then next thing you know, I teach you how to get 12 and 15,000 in a day, and eventually you get permanently banned. That 8,000 that you put in legitimately is now wiped away. Uh, so I've hit this like massive wall on this game because without new content from the developers, there's no such thing as new content in this game.
Hostile broadcast detected.
And that kind of put me in this stagnant mode. And I started to realize that there hasn't been anything new to this game in years. Like we were sitting on 2 years since the last 2 or 3 years since the last raid. Uh, yeah, they came out with new gear sets. They came out with new brand sets. They came out with new apparel, but they're just you know putting lipstick on a pig. No matter how much you put on the pig, it's still going to be a pig. And it became indicative of what happened in uh, a game that I used to play called The Last of Us. The Last of Us came out on PS3, and I bought it, and it was one of the best games I've ever played. And then it came out with then after I got done with the campaign, I jumped into factions. And if you haven't played it, The Last of Us Factions is probably one of the funnest games you can ever play, multiplayer wise. Like it is extremely fun. I suggest anybody who has not played it
Agent charge
go
compromised.
do it. Like it is a small arena,
Hostile
but
squad
it is
convoy
so much fun.
nearby.
But the problem is that this game hit a wall. It hit a massive wall uh, because the developers abandoned it, and then they decided to come out with a remake and a newer version like The Last of Us Part Two. Didn't come with a multiplayer, but they promised it would. And then they came instead and to appease the masses, they came out with a Last of Us remake, which the remake is just the same as the first game. And I assumed that when they did the remake, they would do a remake of the multiplayer, but they never did. It was just the campaign. So they made money off The Last of Us Part 2 and The Last of Us remake. And there hasn't been a single solitary multiplayer on this next gen console. Third person shooters are being crapped on. They have not produced anything new or worthy or competitive for these third person shooters. And it has now made me realize that
Incoming backup request.
based off of what The Last of Us or what Naughty Dog did with The Last of Us is the division doing the exact same thing.
The plan. Gonna need a
The
med
Last of
pack,
Us
huh?
promised 3 years ago that they would come out with a multiplayer, and they have went radio silent over the past year, past 3 years. They have not done a single solitary thing with this. What happened to that resource convoy? Just vanished? It did. That's messed up. But they have not come out with a single solitary um, noteworthy anything for the division. The same way Naughty Dog has not come out with anything on The Last of Us. They keep promising us Heartland, and yet we haven't gotten anything remotely close.
Heavily
The
armored
Last of Us
hostile
came
detected.
out with uh, a still image of their their multiplayer to appease the masses. That was a year ago or a year and a half ago. What did Ubisoft do? They came out with a video for Heartland and haven't said a single solitary thing since. These AAA developers have now realized that the stuff that they're coming out with, the things that they have ready for us to play, they want to come out with them. They really do, and I really think they do. But the problem is that what is the point of coming out with it right now
CP captured. Good job.
when
Detected. Nearby location. Guarded by hostiles.
all they have to do is wait until the tail end because we're so close to a PlayStation 6 that they can come out with something on the back end with this new content on the back end of the PS5, make money off of it then, and then when there's an established release date for the PS6, they come out with the PS6 version and make money off of that because you have to purchase the PS6 version. That's the same way Naughty Dog did with The Last of Us uh, multiplayer. They came out with, well, The Last of Us, period. They came out with the PS3 version. And then the PS4 came out. And then they came out with the PS4 version, The Last of Us Remastered, which was the exact same game, but they made buku money off of that. And then when The Last of Us Remastered came out, they came out with The Last of Us Remake for the PS5 on top of The Last of Us Part 2. So they made money they made buku money off the same game on three different systems, three versions of an income. And Ubisoft has taken note and said, why would we do that when we can just come out and come out with it at the tail end of the PS5, and then when the PS6 come out, make money off of that. So we're stuck. Third person shooters, there hadn't been a single good third person shooter since the release of Division 2. And I need y'all to be honest about that. There has not been. So when I watch the content creators come out with all these different videos saying, "Oh, this is game breaking, this is this, that, and third," hey, just stop, stop. Like, we need to just stop coming out with this brand new game broken, this, that, and the third, and actually come out and say us as content creators, we're holding you developers accountable, just like y'all want us to be held accountable for the stuff that we do to get our viewers rolled back. Hey, we're holding you accountable. Everybody, all my subscribers, all the people who view this video, finally go up to your big name content creators and say, all right, this is what you need to do. We're asking you to do. Put out videos saying, hey, we're not going to sit here and watch you do this cash grab on games that we are committed to, but you're committed to the bank that you possibly could receive. You are committed to making sure that we are on this 3 year drought of this brand new game system that came out 3 years ago. This PS5 and the Xbox Series X has come out, and we have got nothing. The Xbox Series X, they got a 60 frame per second Division 1,
Reinforcements
but
incoming.
as PlayStation players, we've gotten absolutely nothing
Detecting additional hostile contacts.
even remotely close to that. Us content creators should sit back and say, wait a minute, is that the reason why there is no Heartland? Because you're waiting on the PS6? You want us to spend our money on a
Agent charge
PS6 when truth be
compromised.
told is you just came out the PS5 and finally came out with your own version of a Pro controller, and now you're telling me, oh, it's going to be obsolete in 2 years? It is. It's going to be obsolete in 2 years. I got old fingers,
Heavily armored
so
hostile
I can't do
detected.
PC. That's the truth. I can't do PC. I'll get carpal tunnel in 2 days. Uh, but that's what they're asking us to do.
Moving position.
Like, there's no reason for this new game system to come out, and there hasn't been a single game on it, you know, for 3 years. If you want to say, oh, it was due to COVID, I will give you COVID for a year. I would say fine. You want to say coronavirus like slowed down everything for a year? Cool, it did. It slowed down for a year. But yo, y'all have no excuse now. In that time, in that short amount of time, you want to say COVID slowed it down, you could have easily worked from home to give us a remastered version of or remake version of the Division One by rebuilding its game system from the ground up. You already had the foundation. You just got to upgrade the graphics. You know, give us better stability like Division Two.
Supply room
You
access
have the
unlocked.
blueprint. You know, start going to your content creators saying and petition to have a remake version of Division One from ground up. If you're not going to give us a Division Three, remake Division One. You know, give us something, but don't give us this limbo,
Hostiles guarding
this
location nearby.
garbage. Like here I am at 13 minutes on this video, and I'm still, um, but like it really aggravates the crap out of me to sit here and see this and see these content creators come up with something new, and then the developers are coming out with more builds left and right, or more gear sets left and right. Yet we're still playing the same OP.
Stories I hear about you, Agent.
You know, watched a video the other day where this guy was, and I wanted to let you know I'm not upset at the person. I'm upset at the remark. The person himself is a really good player, but he's in PvP, and he made an offhand comment about well, not a comment. He wrote an offhand comment saying he emotes on shock players, and it's funny because the title of his build was, you know, Bonkzilla or whatever. Either way it go, there's a video about bonks, and I watched a couple of his videos, and I watched him because he's a really good PvP player. I do kind of avoid the bonk build videos, but this one kind of just made me laugh because he said he emotes on them. But I'm like, wait a minute, you're running a bonk build though. Like, why are you upset at them for using the gun when you're running all blues and you're doing the damage based on that, and you're hitting them with a shield, and not just that, but I've seen you run a wicked backpack build, and yet your wicked
Detected. Nearby location
requires you to
guarded by
do it on a
hostiles.
status effect. Why are you picking and choosing which status effect is you know what's the word, acceptable to you? Why is that status effect more acceptable than, you know, or least acceptable than, being caught on fire? And correct me if I'm wrong, but being caught on fire, don't you lose your ability to ADS?
Incoming hostiles detected.
I ain't crazy, right? You do lose your ability to ADS when you get caught on fire.
Charge exposed.
You know,
Bring backup.
don't you run a phone, Bill? Like I've seen you phone people or disorient them. Like all the things that you're sitting here. Oh my God, come on, look at
Immediate
this.
medical assistance needed. Agent
All the
down.
things that you are picking and choosing what to argue
Civilians in
about,
distress.
like what you consider acceptable, it's kind of unfair. Why?
Vital signs critical. Agent killed.
That explosion. Sorry, I broke character for a second. I really hate the fact that the auto lock will pick and choose when it
Hostiles
hits the
guarding
weak
location
point on
nearby.
those grenades. Like there's an auto aim on here. I got it turned off, but the problem is that sometimes when I turn it off, it will it will automatically gravitate towards their weak point when they're right up on me. And I don't know why. That's why I turned it off when I did, but it still sometimes gets there, and it can be so frustrating. But like I was saying, he picks and chooses which status effect is acceptable to him. Uh, bro, you can't do that. Like, yeah, I'm angry at the bump bill, and I'm trying to come, but I'm not
Thought I'd never
angry to the
want to
point to
stay
where
alive.
I'm saying, you know,
Civilians in danger.
it is. I don't know what's a better way of saying it. I'm angry at it because it seems like it is broken. And I'm not gonna say seen. It actually is. The damage that it does to agents in themselves is way more than it should. Like it seems like a broken talent.
Charge compromised.
Like whipping a shield out and hitting somebody when you're running all blues. Uh, I've seen red people who are running red bars, all red. I don't say red bars. People who are running all red get one tap by this build. Like that's how overpowered this build is, and yet you're running an all blue build and doing red bar, all red
Friendly
damage.
combatants detected.
Ready? 'Cause we're
But you want to sit here and get angry because somebody decided to shock you. Are you kidding me?
Serious trauma
Oh
detected.
my God. More fire. Right. But like I'm talking about this because it's what the content creators are picking and choosing
Heavily armored
what's
hostile
acceptable.
detected.
Like I said, these reactions that are out there now, they are the reason why some players or some people's favorite builds is being nerfed to the ground because we're sitting here arguing over content and what should be content and what's not content and yada yada
Friendly
yada.
combatants
When the truth of the
inbound.
matter is, we have got to hold these developers accountable. Like the stuff that we have out right now, it is what it is. Just because the content is about the same, you leave something wrong, you leave something out long enough, somebody's gonna find something wrong with it. Which is why that that whole claws out, Lady Death, Crusader Shield, and I think somebody now runs it with the Bloody Knuckles or whatnot. That's why it is so freaking strong
Control point
because you
secured.
left it
Well
there
done.
long enough without even knowing the parameters of your own game, and that's what we as gamers are stuck with. we're stuck with the bullshit that they keep. Excuse my language, but it's
Civilians in
frustrating. We're stuck
distress.
with the bullshit that they put out because we got nothing else, and they know it. So petition your content creators, all of them, small, big, whatever it is, all of my subscribers and
Detected.
viewers. If you're
Nearby
watching this
location
video,
guarded by hostiles.
go out there and just say, "Hey, enough is enough." Like your game, it needs to be like so, you want if you want to give up on Division 2 and give us a skeleton crew, cool. But where's my remake of Division 1? If there is no Division 3, if there is no Heartland that you got, stop twiddling your thumbs and go in there and spend 3 months bringing us Division 1 on this new console system, and we will shut up because there's so much stuff that can be done on Division 1. Like a remake of Division 1 would be so warranted. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, we're stuck, and I've hit a wall. Like, see, now I'm at 21 minutes. I've hit a
Friendly
wall.
combatants
I'm
detected.
so stuck on content right now. Like I could put out stuff, I really could, but the content isn't new. It's old. It's gonna be old. It may be new to some. It may be new from me, but it's all old content, and I can't keep putting out all this old stuff, and and be comfortable doing it, and it end up being semi clickbaity just because it's old stuff. And I apologize to all of you new players that have to sit here and suffer through this, or you old players that are stuck because there is no other game out there. But this is where we are right now. It's like it's like the video game world is still stuck in coronavirus. At a standstill. The world is frozen because there is
Friendly
nothing
combatants
new.
nearby.
There is no motion, and there won't be for a while because they're twiddling their thumbs and they're completely comfortable telling us, "Hey, that's that. We're coming with it, just not right now." So until then, the best thing we can do right now is, like I say at the end of every video, y'all take it easy and get your shade level up.